Hi everyone, this is John Walter with Southeast Advocate, and I want to tell you some tips on how to get a high quality lawyer to take your case without paying any money up front. You know, there's oftentimes when I receive calls from prospective clients and they're concerned because they do not think they can afford a lawyer. They have a claim, injustice has happened to them, they've been harmed, but they say, I can't afford a lawyer. Or they will say, oh, I've already talked to a lawyer and I can't find one to take my case. And they're frustrated. When these thoughts creep into minds of plaintiffs, it will often discourage them from filing a lawsuit. And so I want to address this head on. So you will hear stories about plaintiffs sometimes getting injured, and they try to find a lawyer, and that lawyer will turn them down, the first one they talk to, and they get discouraged. But then they contact other lawyers and they will find one who will take the case and actually gets a very good result for them. This can happen for several reasons. One is because not every lawyer practices the type of case that you have. So you might go to a lawyer and he just may not even know the value of what you have brought before the lawyer. So that might be one cause of it. But secondly, it may also be that the lawyer just does not understand the type of claim that you have brought. So if you have ever taken your case to a lawyer and have been turned down, do not put that case on the shelf. Do not give up on your case. Justice is too important. You are too important. You owe it to yourself and to your family to continue pursuing this, and do not give up easily on it. So I just want to provide some tips on how to get a high quality lawyer to take your case. So first, it comes down to understanding that, the basic economics of the practice of law. So if you want a lawyer to take a case without you having to pay an hourly rate, it's going to have to be a contingency fee arrangement. And that simply means that the lawyer, his payment is contingent, which means it depends upon you getting paid first, right? So you're not going to pay him or her any money unless the lawyer wins you some money, and then the lawyer will take a percentage of the amount recovered. And so the lawyer who is willing to work on a contingency fee basis is going to look at a claim and make sure that there is enough value in the claim to justify the amount of time it will take to work on the case. So the things that you can do to understand the amount of value your case has is to look at three different things. So first, what types of medical bills do you have? So add up all of the medical costs that you have incurred. And then second, you can multiply that cost by 3 as a rough rule of thumb as to what your pain and suffering was in relationship to that medical experience that you went through. And then also, you want to look at third, your past and future lost income. So let's say you're injured, you miss time off work, you include that lost income in there. But then you also look at what impact will this injury have on you going forward in the future? Will it diminish your ability to hold a job or to do as good at your job as you had been previously able to do? If so, you're entitled to compensation for that harm and that lost income that you otherwise would have experienced. Then also, look at some additional factors, such as, has this impacted my quality of life? Will this impact my ability to enjoy time with my children? Can I no longer lift my grandchild? Whatever it may be, add these things up and get them ready for when you talk on the phone with a lawyer. And then finally, there's a concept called punitive damages. So punitive means to punish. That simply means that certain conduct can be so wrong, so morally evil, that the court system is going to award you additional damages above what you have incurred in individual harm. But it's designed to punish the wrongdoer to prevent them from ever doing this type of thing again. And so think about any types of circumstances surrounding your case that would just arouse anger about what happened to you. That can show that there was some intentionality, that they might have known this would happen to you, but they moved forward anyways. So that's a big one. So keep an eye out for that. And the reason I'm telling you these things is because at the very beginning, before you have a lawyer, you are the advocate for your case. So you are, in a sense, a salesperson for your case. You're going to try to persuade lawyers to take your case on a contingency fee basis. And so I'm just trying to give you some tips on how to best gather the evidence and the facts and the numbers so that you can be persuasive in talking with a lawyer. So another way, so that's one. So you want to look at the level of harm that has occurred and how much compensation you could receive. And that in itself is going to be the most persuasive factor to a plaintiff's lawyer. So another one, second, is to understand if your case is covered by a fee-shifting statute. So both federal and state law provides certain circumstances where the defendant has to pay your attorney fees. So in these types of cases, the lawyer will take records of his time or her time, just as if they were billing by the hour. And then at the end of the case, they submit it to the court. The court will approve it or require adjustments. And that's the amount that the lawyer will be paid. So you're not the one paying it. It is the defense that is paying it. So what you want to do to understand if your case is covered by a fee-shifting statute is you can do some basic research on your own. Typically, like just for an example, if it's a wage theft case, if your employer is forcing you to do work off the clock, even if they're not forcing you, if it's just happening and they're aware of it, then it's called wage theft. They're stealing from you, and it's a circumstance where it's illegal. And to help with enforcement, the federal law says that individual parties can bring these cases, and if they do, then the defendant needs to pay their attorney fees. And so that's a way that the federal government, that they enforce this law, is that just through private actions. So they have this fee-shifting statute. And it occurs in other circumstances as well. Another example would be if someone, gets hurt or injured in a prison, it could be considered cruel and unusual punishment, and they will have a fee-shifting statute in that instance as well. So you can do some basic research on the type of your claim and understand if there's a fee-shifting statute. And if so, then that can also be very helpful in recruiting a lawyer. The thing is that's important with that is, so imagine you go to a lawyer and you say, hey, my cousin, and this is totally hypothetical, but you might have a totally different issue, but imagine you go to a lawyer and say, hey, my cousin was stabbed in a prison. And that lawyer, he's never dealt with that type of issue before. He might not even know about the fee-shifting statute. And he's going to say like, hey, listen, I don't know anything about that. I don't know. They're just totally unaware of it. So they will dismiss the case. They won't take the case. So don't be discouraged by a lawyer turning you away. It might just be the lawyer's ignorance. You could have an excellent case, but the lawyer is not aware of the fee-shifting statute. But if you have knowledge of it, if you've done a little bit of research, you can educate that lawyer. And if he or she is still not willing to take it, at least he or she knows it's a good case, and they will be more inclined to refer you to a colleague who specializes in that area, or do some digging to find you one. So those are some tips I have. I hope this is helpful. If you would like for me to assist in evaluating a claim, I'd be more than happy to. You can click on the link or copy it into your search bar. It's in the comments section of this video, and that'll take you to a page where you can schedule right onto my calendar. I set aside time for stuff like this. So anyhow, thanks for watching, and have a great rest of the day, night, morning, or whatever time of day it is for you.